Ticket with the programming. I'm Chase Ingram.
Captain America.
And along with me is Bill Grunler.
Wolverine.
And Mr. John Young.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
It really is. It's perfect.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
think
Welcome to
you
Inside
are?
the Leaderboard, everyone. The Open is over. Scores should, what is it tonight? Final approval of getting scores validated. I believe it's Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Dude, I panicked on that. I always panic like Tuesday night. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I gotta hurry up and get
I got
them in.
the email or the message, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't validate scores. All like 3 of them. that run through my garage.
How did 24.3 go for you guys?
Bill's was better
liked
than
it.
mine.
I know Bill's crushed it. But
I would say for me, it was a huge win overall, right? So like outside of what the score, right, the number of repetitions I got, because my score did not involve a time, is the fact that I did 50 chest to bar pull-ups, which was 50 more than I've done in the last 15, 16 months. And bar muscle.
pain-free?
Pain-free, yeah. I was telling Bill it was, I think it was Monday when we were recapping 24.3, is that the thrusters, especially being in that rack position, was harder on my shoulder than the pull-ups or bar muscle-ups. I was just very fatigued. The strength and stamina of a movement that you don't do anymore. Who knew, right? We fail at the margins of our experience, and I have not experienced any type of butterfly, any type of kip, and any type of real hang from the pull-up rig in a very long time. So overall, huge win. The soreness is just about gone from my body, even though I did it on Friday.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Beat Tia and Brooke?
Yeah, that's true. I
Right.
beat Tia and Brooke.
Dude, you besides stepping on our toes yesterday with our show, you piece of shit. John. I think that I went back and watched you guys. It was dude, impressive that both of you guys put your video on the line like that and picked apart and watched what it was. And I thought it was interesting because, I mean, you're right. The weights, depending on who you were, could be really light, and it's going to make athletes go really, really fast. And so that was one of the issues with lighter weights, especially for better athletes. But the camera angle stuff that you guys were doing, especially like on Hillers,
It's crazy how much of a difference it made.
and that is something, and he mentioned it without really mentioning it, that's one of those loopholes in the game is you can find an angle where you look okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like that's part of the online qualifier deal is, okay, yeah, you have your home court advantage, you got your best bar, you have the one that spins the best, you have the weights that bounce a little bit better or they don't bounce, and then you have your camera angle to find out just where you need to be. And I thought it was really interesting, the different camera angles, especially on Hillers, and even yours. I mean, you had straight in the front, and that right there was like, okay, hopefully everyone understood. Don't ever shoot yourself from low straight at yourself like that, because
It's crazy. Like my squat, like I feel very confident in saying my squat is beautiful. Like it's all the way down, and like my just the way I'm built, like I'm built to squat, like everything is great. And the way it's shot, man, I mean, it looks like it's right at parallel. And I'm like, guys, I promise you,
Yeah,
I've never been to a competition like that. And that's also something I didn't say on Hiller's video, because like I have a habit of trying to go too fast and either like short stroking a front squat at the top or like having soft elbows with thrusters, as I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
We looked for yours, Bill, and we couldn't find it.
Look, I'm not gonna put it up there. Shit, I'm not gonna put it up there. And it's the thing is that like it's not like, I mean, I'm just doing it the Open for me, right? I think technically I'm not even on the worldwide leaderboard. I'm only in the 55 division. That is it.
Oh,
because they don't put
all the workouts.
They don't, even though I did them all on there, it doesn't matter because I'm in this other division. So like, I'm just playing for me. But I mean, shit. The dumbbell snatch one. I put the last 9 reps, dude. I got slammed by people, and it's like I get it. I mean, okay, it's you're not standing up all the way, and I think something that is very hard to say, and you guys talked about it on your show with Hiller, was a race is a race, and you will always skirt the line in a race. Everybody does in every single race. It doesn't mean that you're cheating, but it means that you're going to try to find the shortest distance between 2 points within the realm that you're given. And I mean, me and Chase have talked about this so many times in a live competition. Like, I will play to my judge, and if they let me go, why the fuck am I going to go another extra 3 inches deeper if I don't need to? Until the head judge comes around, and then I'll rest. I'll just hang out. Well, I'll wait until they leave. You know,
Now, I didn't do that to
game.
skirt anything. I did that so that this guy just wouldn't just come over me and give me 50 extra kettlebell swings.
Right. But it was interesting. I mean, I thought that it was interesting to see some of the speeds at which some of these athletes could go. It was just unreal. I mean, whether they were skirting the line or not. I mean,
and I would say, like, look at somebody like Adler or Colton Mertens. Like, these are some of the fastest times in the world, and every single rep is perfect.
Well, I mean, the easiest job at the CrossFit Games was to judge Rich Froning or Matt Fraser.
Right.
Totally.
Right.
Like, it was the easy. Everyone's like, oh, I was like, that's who I want to judge, because they never had to put themselves in a position to skirt the line or ride the line. I don't mean skirt the line to go around. It's like ride it, right? Like, it's like trying to do fast wall ball shots. The only way you can happen is like if I don't squat the foot below parallel that I normally do, then just like an inch below parallel than I normally do. So that was always the thing. And yeah, that's the hard part about online competition. And that just comes with the territory. And we had this conversation last year, Bill, is like, until you start enforcing hard rules and hard lines, then those lines will stay blurred forever, because if you blur the way you assess penalties or don't assess penalties, it keeps the line even more blurred as we do these online competitions.
Yeah. And the other thing, it's like, you know, even though, John, when you and Hiller were looking at your videos, there is not any judge at any time in any live competition that is able to slow the video down and stop it frame by frame to see exactly if there was, like, you don't have that. So there's going to be an element of like, okay, well, that was pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
And that's got to be okay. Now, the problem is when you have hundreds of thousands of people that are out competing, they're trying to go fast. And you know, Jeffrey up at the top was talking about my snatches being iffy. Okay. Fine.
A lot of me wants to be like, let's see your snatches, Jeffrey. Like
it's kind of, I mean, yeah, kind of, but like, I like whatever, like everyone, it's so easy to talk shit on everybody's movements, and that's fine.
You just got to go slower like me.
I mean, right. I mean, I guess there's that, but you know, whatever. I didn't want to. It's again, I don't think that, generally speaking, people aren't trying to cheat. You know, I don't think that, like, John, when yours were, if it's not like you were like, well, fuck these guys, I'm going to show them, I'm going to cheat every rep, or, you know, or even some of the bad ones. It's not that people are trying to do that. It's sometimes some people are, granted. Trevor Brockmeyer, whatever that guy's name was.
Yeah, John, do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's the jump rope loop.
Yep.
All right, no, just see, you know, just making sure.
And he's got his like Instagram has like 1 million followers.
Yeah, dude, he's blown up. He's like, super mega famous.
Oh
now.
No, he bought all those, Bill.
Dude,
oh, okay.
If you look at his likes versus his, you know, following or whatever, like it's called StrengthWorks. If y'all want to check it out, and
it's funny.
Yeah, every single workout, essentially, he's like, "Here's me doing the workout. I would have had a world record, but I just decided not to, you know, post it because I don't want people to." And I'm like, "Okay, bro, like it's
crazy." And he went from, like, you know, nice chiropractor guy, PT guy, whatever, to now I'm all hard and we're hard and my daughter doesn't deserve to wear this T-shirt, you know, that says strong, hard, whatever, until she earns it. And it's like, oh, dude,
so he went like up. The who's the freaking caveman dude?
The Liver King?
The Liver King. So he went the Liver King route. Because
Kind of.
people forget, like,
He's about as
Liberty was
tan as
just
that guy
a
too.
failed fake regionals athlete in my era. And then
Yeah,
he just
and you can always tell who those guys are. I find it kind of funny. There was I should post it in the chat. Nobody ever talks about this guy, but like he looks like a strong man. Like I was watching 2016 regionals or something like that. Don't ask me why. It's what I do when I'm bored in the bathtub or something.
In the bathtub.
I
just got a sick
and
vision right now.
Yeah, no. Calm down. It was the year they did Randy, and then they did the rope climbs and the thruster one. It was another hero workout. But like that was the year. And I can't forget this guy's name. I'll have to look it up again. But he had like a Viking braid, and he looked like a Viking. He looked like Brock Lesnar out there. I'm like, how the freak did this dude like get in there? Like, because like he was last place in every single event except the hang snatch. Every single event. And then you go look at who qualified, and he was like fourth.
Right.
Out of 40 people who qualified. And I'm like, and nobody ever talks about him. We talk about like the historic people like Trevor Bachmeyer, or, there's people that like fill up their wall ball says is 10 pounds and it was really 20 pounds. And like this guy had to have cheated so hard, and nobody ever talks about him. I'll bring him up to see if you guys know, like in the thread.
There was a girl in the Central.
I was just thinking about that, dude.
It was 2014.
Yeah.
Who could not do pull-ups. Like, we're watching the workout, and she can't do a pull-up.
It's like we had those in the open to get
those
here.
were in the open. And they were chest to bar, and you can't do a pull-up. It was wild.
I still feel like there's stuff like that that's rampant, because every qualifier I've ever done, and Bill, you're a little bit different level, different age group, a different level. So like you might could attest to this too. Every qualifier I ever do, I'm so much worse than what I am in live competition. Yeah. Like my the fitness experience qualifier, I was like 92nd, and I ended up being 30th or 33rd or something. If my run time would have counted, I would have been top 20. Top 20 when I'm 92nd.
John keeps the receipts.
When I'm 92nd in the qualifier. How does that happen? I don't understand how that happens.
I think that's just part of the gig. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's always going to be that the home court advantage. I mean, you can always slight something. And because until we get to a point where if you are doing an online qualifier and every video has to be put up and has to be judged, thumb up, thumb down, whatever, until that happens, that will always be in there.
Well,
always.
That is a part of the system which we're working within for our Inside the Leaderboard show and Strength of Field, because that was one of the concerns raised, is managing the volume of people in the open and how important it is. Because if you do this system that we're going to unveil for you guys, that we've been doing for the last several weeks, is that it has to be right, it has to be regulated, and it has to be judged from start to finish. We'll do a show probably in our break between now and quarterfinals of a way to actually make that whole system a reality. Because the way we're working with it now is like we're just working in I would say a best case scenario honor system evaluation. But there's a way to legitimize this that some have projected it to be too hard to manage with a small team as far as judging open workouts and quarterfinal workouts all the way through to get the right top 100. And I was like, challenge accepted. And I figured it out. So we'll do a show of how to actually implement this in a very easy way that can be crowdsourced with people, filtered through, everyone gets judged, and we can make an actual legitimate top 100 for the open and quarterfinal. So if you guys are just joining the show for the first time, welcome to Inside the Leaderboard. We are going to go through our Get With the Programming Strength of Field system for semifinals as the games have it. In fact, I guess after this open, we could have a new top 100 for CrossFit's worldwide rankings, because they do it as ever moving 2-year span. So after the Open, they'll rescore everything based off who registered for what over the last 2 years post Open. So it all shifts up one qualifier competition, and we may get a new top 100 next week. That's I'm sure Mike will figure it out before the end of the show. Or Barkley, one of those guys will do it. But with our system, we have it in real time. It's as we go from week to week. We're going to take the top 100 now that we have 3 weeks of the Open done. Half of our year, as far as our strength of field for the semifinals, is set. So we'll do a little recap after 24.2 for you guys just joining us. And these are our worldwide semifinals. You've got 7 around the world. This will look at the men we removed after week 2. So this is something important to remember. After week 2, these were the 3 men that were in the top 100 worldwide in the Open. Noah Olson, Chandler Smith, and Philip Muscarella. There's East, West, and West for North America that will be removed from our top 100 because team athletes who are going team should not affect the individual strength of field for semifinals. CrossFit keeps them in. We are taking them out. And your top 100 after week 2 of the Open. So this is after 24.2. North America East was at 33. North America West gained 1 and moved up to 20. We've said it's usually about 3 to 4 athletes in or out that can give or take away a games qualifying spot. In our system, every semifinal gets 1. The remaining 33 spots to the CrossFit Games divvied up through semifinals will be using the designate method that CrossFit does. So this is not a far detraction of what they do. But 3 down in Oceania, 1 down in Asia. Africa still has 0. South America held steady at 6 and 33. And after 24.2 last week, your men on the bubble, a few in Oceania, Europe, and South America. Now, we said, here's what's wild, okay? How many spots did North America gain in the top 100 on the East for the men? Do you guys remember that last slide? It was 5. North America West had only gained 1, but both went up 1 spot. So it's not just 3 from the bottom, right? You could have you've got your 1 extra spot, but you still had 3 guys that weren't getting that extra spot you needed based off that calculation, so you just needed 1 more. And that's what happened in the West for North America. They gained 1 person, just 1, in the top 100, and they got a whole extra spot. North America East took 5, and they only gained 1 extra spot, right? Asia lost their 1, Oceania lost their 1, and those spots remaining. South America had 3, and the Europe men had 12. So that's what happened for the men's side after 24.2. On the women's side, more athletes were removed. So after 24.2, Matilda Garnis, Jamie Simmons is out. They're going team. Kristen Holta was in the top 100. She's retired, so she won't be competing. Christy Hollard out of Oceania. She's going team. Cara Saunders, Marnie Sykes, Emily Rathwill, and Maria Longforsh. Those are all taken out of the top 100 after 24.2. And this is the wild one. If anybody remembers from last week, 50 of the 100 women in the top 100 are out of Europe. They added 7 more after 24.2. North America East gained another 5. North America West lost 4, and they were only down to 10. 10 women in the top 100 worldwide are only coming out of the West at the moment. South America lost all their 4. They're at 0. Africa's at 0. Oceania lost 2 at 10. Asia lost 2 sitting at 2. So remember, Europe went up 7. North America East went up 5. North America West down 4. And so as we see what the designate method brought out is that, I still think it's wild, 4 women on the cut line. With the 7 added in Europe, that added another 2 qualifying spots, where Europe is sitting at 18 CrossFit Games qualifying spots for their semifinals after 24.2.
That is insane.
North America, right? They only gained, what was it, 7? God, let me remember what that was. Back here, they gained 5, okay? So they gained the same number of spots as the men did, but they got 2 because of the total volume they have in the West, where the men only got 1. North America West lost another spot. They only have 4, which is 1 less than what they're given by CrossFit right now. CrossFit's giving the West 5, and after 2 weeks, West is performing at a 4. What do you think about that? Oceania down 1, they're at 4. South America, Africa, and Asia all have 1. And so that's how it stands after 24.2 for the men and the women, which is where we sit. Now, that was based off 2 workouts that were very accessible, right? Top to bottom, a lot of speedsters, a lot of engine, a lot of light work, a lot of softness if you're John Young. I don't know if he still holds true to that, but
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
100%.
At what happened after 24.3 came down the pipeline. So we are finishing up full top 100 post-open, 3 weeks of competition with the wonderful 24.3, which was 5 rounds, 10 thrusters at 95, 10 chest to bar pull-ups, rest a minute, 5 rounds, 7 thrusters at 135 and 95, and 7 bar muscle-ups. So if you guys are just joining us, we will go through the actual rankings. Pre-open, we went through that. The top 100 distributed after 24.3, how it looks like with our system as we do the designate Games spots projections using our system. Overall, after each week of the Open and quarterfinals, so once we finish the Open here, the top 100 from the Open will be locked worldwide in our system, taking out team and masters athletes and retired athletes because they could potentially still be competing, but we will not be using them because they will not be at semifinals in person. And then once we finish the Open, you keep the top 100, and then your finishing place worldwide in the Open will be averaged on how you finish in the 2 submission windows at quarterfinals. These are our 7 regions around the world: Asia, Africa, Europe, Oceania, South America, North America, East, and West. Athletes removed after 24.3. We have added 2 more men to the list. It was originally 3 after week 2. It's now 5. Noah Olson, Philip Muscarella, Josh Alchama, Chandler Smith, and Royce Dunn made their way into the top 100 after 3 weeks of the Open. They will be removed from our top 100. So as it looks for the men, after 3 weeks of the Open, Europe has gained 4 after week 2. They're sitting at 37 of the 100 spots overall for the men in the top 100 using our system. North America East gained 1. North America West lost 2. After 24.2, they had gained 1. And what else did they get with that 1 extra that they gained after 24.2? They gained a whole nother games qualifying spot after just 1. Now they've lost 2, so we'll have to see what happens there. South America went up 1. Africa still has 0. Asia lost their 1, so they're at 0. Oceania dropped 3 spots after the Open. Outside looking in, your top 100 cut line. At 101 through 104. Now, these numbers are because we've taken out 5, so they're not exactly sitting those 100 spots. So based off the 5 that we have, you've got 2 men from the East inside the top 100, 1 from the West. Oh, hey, this is our Trayvon Benton, Mr. John Young. That was our savior pick from Wadapalooza when we won as our duo.
Yes, it was. Yeah, on the lift. Yes,
Look at that, Dre Strom. Old Dre Strom just sitting there in the top 100 in the world, just reluctantly still being fit as hell.
Just waiting for that GHD workout in quarterfinals.
Yeah. Right, now, outside looking in, let's take a look at this. 2 men from South America are on the outside of the top 100 looking in, knowing we have quarterfinals coming. So if you're in South America and you're looking at old Philemon Souza and William Rios, you're like, hey, boys, we need you to get your ass in the top 100 because we need another spot to the CrossFit Games. Jacob Wheeler out of Oceania. North America East, Bill Leahy. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. We had 1 after 24.2. Now we just potentially lost our game spot. Quarterfinals, read the rules, follow the directions, and get your ass back in the top 100. So let's see what the game spots are looking like after the 2024 Open for the men. And here's what we thought. We thought you lost 2 in North America West. You lost your 1 spot again that you got back after week 2. Europe, you got 2. Where'd the other one come from? Oceania, back down to 2 spots only. And South America has 3. So in this system, when only 1 spot is guaranteed and the 33 are up for grabs based off real-time performance in the open and quarterfinals, South America has an opportunity to get more spots in a way that they would have never had an opportunity otherwise.
Which is huge, man. We've never seen anything like that. That is amazing in of its own. But Africa 1, Asia 1, Oceania 2, 4 spots out of half the world of countries that you would normally think you would have more than that. Like Oceania, especially, you'd think you'd have a little bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, Europe and America East.
Gosh, I feel bad for the Oceania men.
It's crazy.
Now here's what I'm gonna say though, and this just goes into like people need to compete, I guess, better. We go look at the 14th guy in Europe. I guarantee that guy is not as good as the 3rd or the 4th guy in Oceania. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's check it out. We have the leaderboard right now, don't we?
Yeah, I can check it out. Let me see. Let's do some looking at the leaderboard. Do you want to look at the Open?
It's the second for the Open because that's all we're basing it on right now.
All right, hang on a sec. Let me see. View tab.
Well, I was just I thought we'd look at what was semifinals was last year.
Okay, yeah,
That would be the qualifier to the game.
Oh yeah.
And which region do we want to look at?
Europe and Oceania.
Oceania.
Yeah. Everyone's saying I'm putting a Latin flair on Oceania. That's how it's freaking spelled. It's an Oceania.
You kind of you could put the syllable on there sometimes.
IA. It's IA at the end. Is nobody else reading? IA. How would you say with?
How do you say California?
Yeah,
California.
Oceania.
Yeah, but you say Oceania sometimes.
Oceania. Right. California, Oceania. How am I saying that wrong? I'm confused. I'm saying it right. I've decided.
It's okay. I'm good.
You just told all of us to fuck off. That was funny.
Yeah, everybody just.
I'm saying it right. You guys saying it wrong. All you guys
saying it wrong. Fuck all you guys. All right, who are we looking at? Oceania.
I got gypped in Heat 1. It's all good.
All right, men. Here we go. Share this tab for everybody. Men. What do we say? They only have 2? Bailey Martin, Jay Crouch are your only representative.
So Jake Douglas is the one that doesn't make it. That's
Jake
fine.
doesn't make it. Now, it's not like he did.
Now, I guess I take it back. I was thinking like Ricky, Royce, Jay, Baden, Brown, Bailey Martin.
Well, okay, so let's go back to South America because they've got an extra one, and we said this last time we had them on. Is who got 3rd?
It would have
that
been
everybody
Dean.
wanted to see at the games again.
Yeah,
Emil Harros. And they're not getting another spot in the system that it is now. They're just not. No one else is getting South America, Africa, Asia are not getting extra spots.
They don't need it.
Don't have the athletes. Not they don't need it. That's a different argument. It's the fact that they don't even have an opportunity.
Who is 14th in Europe?
Ooh, 14th in Europe.
Victor Hoffer.
Oh, man. So 12. So they had 11. That was the original. And they get Colin Bossard, Victor Hoffer, and Luka Vuniak, who happens to be the top. Is he in the top 3 after the Open so far?
I don't think so.
He's pretty close.
No, yeah, but I think other people
Top 5?
are ahead of him.
Didn't he have one? Didn't he have like one of the top times on the first?
Yeah,
one?
he had like I think the second best time in the world on one of the workouts.
Way to go,
I mean,
Luka.
he's built for this year's Open.
He was
Programming. This guy's just a.
Wasn't he the one that's like he's like shorter than Colton?
No, that's Kel Lehman.
Oh, that's who it was.
No,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy's small too.
He's not shorter than Colton, bro. Colton is.
But there was one of the
Colton
guys
can't go on half the rides at an amusement park. Man. Like
you were talking about someone that was like 5 foot.
Yeah, that's Kel Lehman.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's for the men.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think Luka Vuniak probably does better than Jake Douglas at the games.
Yes, I could see that. All right. On to the women. Athletes removed. Top 100 after 3 weeks of the Open. Cara Saunders, Christy Hollard, Jamie Simmons, Matilda Garnis, Emily Rethwill, Maria Longforsh, Marnie Sykes, Kristen Holta. So how many is that? 8? 9? 8. 8 women versus 5 men removed from the individual strength of field. Top 100.
There we go. Taking it away from you one by one. Let's go.
Europe only lost their 1. North America East lost 2. The West is rallying. The West women are rallying. They got
Europe.
Go, ladies.
Asia 4. They got +2 after the Open.
Good for you.
This
Asia.
is awesome. Africa has 0. Oceania lost 2. South America gained their 1. So a lot of shifting on the women's side, a bit more than the men. Now we'll have to see if these numbers come into play with that. But let's see who's on the outside looking in. 4 European women inside the cut line of the top 100. Only 1 on the outside. East has 1. South America has another opportunity to get another spot. And then Oceania has 2. This is not Haley Adams, by the way. I asked Halpin this. I'm like, did you miss? He's like, nope, there's apparently Haley. An Australian version that has an extra Y in there.
But, North America East will have another one because Alexis Raptis will very likely be in the top 100 after quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think, what was she, 4 spots out after 24.2, if I remember?
Yes.
So still didn't crack the top 100 after the 3rd week of the Open. Then you have Georgia Davenport out of Europe, outside the top 100. And North America West got their 1 back that they had lost last week. So the 2 athletes they bumped up into the top 100, got them in a whole new games qualifying spots. North America East, I think they only lost 1. And they lost a spot with that. Europe is unchanged. It's still 18 spots. South America, Africa with 1. Asia got an extra spot. So the 2 they got after the Open gave them a whole nother qualifying spot for the CrossFit Games. And Oceania is back down to their 3 that they originally have from CrossFit's Games allocation. This is with the 2 that they've earned based off the 1 that we were given. So no change for Europe. They only lost 1, but we've seen 1 can change how that goes up. North America West gets 5. North America East gets 10. But Asia getting that extra 1 spot after the Open.
Yeah, I'm proud of Asia.
That is, well, I mean, it's great for them because you want to be able to have that. You want them to be able to have the opportunity. This is one of the things we've talked about. Get the opportunity to be able to get people to compete, to get those extra spots, not just, well, we think you deserve X amount.
It proves that the system works because Asia finally got fit enough to get that extra 1.
Right. And part of the fanfare, part of the excitement is that it's real time. You have an opportunity to earn more spots. Nothing's deserved. Everything is earned in this system. It's like, oh, well, we deserve 3. I'm like, clearly you don't. Oceania is sitting at 3. So at CrossFit gives them now. They've gotten 2 based off their performance in the Open, but a lot of what they're losing is because of a lot of their team athletes this year are in the top 100 as it currently stands, which in the real time, depending on how they registered, if they do individual quarterfinals, I'm talking about like Cara, Emily, Jamie, those athletes, Marnie. If they sign up for individual quarterfinals, their scores could potentially count and maybe get them an extra spot because we're taking 1 away right now, which is part of it, right? That's not something we believe should be in the strength of field when team athletes or masters athletes or retired athletes who aren't even competing this year can get your semifinal extra game spots when they won't be competing there in person.
Yeah. I have a question. How many people do you think Europe has to have before we start going East Europe, West Europe, and we just make America 1?
It's a good question.
Ooh, now we're talking about relegation, like
Right.
soccer.
Because
Right.
currently Europe has more than all of North America.
I mean, let's go back to the top 100. Europe
Right.
has 49. North America has
They have
38.
Half, yeah.
half
Well,
of
combined.
the
I'm
top
saying
100.
combined, yeah. North America combined 38 total in the top 100. Europe alone 49. And maybe that could be a thing. You want to add an extra element if you want to have some carryover from one year to the next. If you get more than 50% of the athletes coming out of your region, maybe you deserve 2 the next year and the other regions get 1. Imagine that.
Would it
Now, where would you draw those lines, though?
well, the other thing is, this is like, would it even matter if, like, you go to your semifinal and of the 40 that are there, 25 get to go anyway? Like, maybe you wouldn't have to cut.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't matter, but it just makes the chart look prettier.
It's true.
And like it's not like, wow, Europe is just killing everybody. It's like Europe is good enough that Europe gets 2 different regions, right? And I would just say Germany to the west.
So I've got another one for you that we didn't even touch on yet. They have 49 women in the top 100. They're only 40 of those get to go to semifinals. Think about that.
Oh, dang.
You have more
people
women
that are like getting the spots
in
and
the
they
top
don't even get to
100 in the
compete.
world than you have semifinal qualifying
There you
spots.
go. That would be the reason. That would be the reason why. That would be
Yeah.
the reason why then, because West gets 40 and East gets 40 for North America. That would be the reason why. Wow, Chase, that was a great thought, because that just made it exactly what it needed to be there.
Right.
Halpin wrote, Eastern and Western Europe could get dicey. That's a good point. We maybe want to.
No, you want to talk about rivalries?
You got to put the wall back
No,
up.
we're thinking more like Germany,
Build
West
the
Germany.
wall.
Build the wall back up. Put the wall back
It's
up.
already there. Just continue the line, right? Germany and a half and just go north and south from there.
And I mean, I don't think it would be that hard, really. I think Germany would be east, and then anything west of Germany is west. And then you just make that line down the middle. That way, east or west would get France, Spain, UK, and then West Europe would probably be better than East Europe, but I still think it'd be kind of balanced.
Well, and not that it doesn't have to be an even
north
split.
versus south, because I feel like Northern Europe
can't go north versus south. Yeah,
it's so top heavy.
Well, shit, the North America's top heavy. Well, side heavy.
Side heavy.
You know what I mean? I mean, so you have the same. It doesn't have to be where you're splitting it exactly. Trying to make it 25 on each side.
Honestly, where y'all have the line right now, where that 49 going down, I mean, that looks pretty good.
But yeah, that is wild, right? You get 40 semifinal spots, and you have
that point right there is
East
massive.
Europe,
yeah,
right.
That point is massive.
Now, again, this is just halfway through our season, our strength of field season, but
West Europe.
It's just wild. And this is outside of what we're talking about today, but this was a topic that came on Talk Elite Fitness's Death By about moving Rogue to Europe, if that is a good idea. I'm like, clearly, as it stands, at least after 3 weeks during the Open, Europe is a more competitive region. It's the
women.
most competitive region in the world for both men and women, right? They have the most between both men and women.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good move for Good move for Rogue.
I think where people get messed up in that statement is like the top of the top is not from Europe, as far as like the winners have not been, other than the Icelandic women.
But it's a strength of field.
But 100%, it's
athletes in the field.
It's the most competitive region. It's just their peak people are not as good as what America's has shown to be, at least in the men's side. And the women have just been all around the world.
And so, yeah, that's the Open. So what we're going to do is we look at this, we tack it on, and going into quarterfinals, this is what it looks like for the women's games qualifying spots using our system for the strength of field. And Europe, almost half the people competing get to go. as it stands right now.
That's crazy.
But this is important because then we see this swing from what happens in the Open to what happens in quarterfinals. And with quarterfinals coming up in a couple weeks, right? Registration opens on April 1st for quarterfinals. It's going to be a 6-day competition for the individuals. They'll have 2 submission windows. It's basically going to go from Wednesday to Monday. So that submission window, if you go half and half, would potentially be on a Saturday. We don't know how many events it's going to be, but what we'll have is we'll have a pre-show of where everybody stands. It'll look a lot like what we just went through, but it'll just recap what we're doing. But we'll look more at what those top 100 look like. Maybe we'll go further down than just 5, because a lot can happen. It's either going to be 5 or 6 events. If it's 3 days and 3 days, it could be 3 and 3.
I would like that. I would like if it was 6 events. Like if you have 6 days and 6 events. I don't like that they gave that extra day if it's still 5 events.
Yeah. And here's what's going to be the exciting part when we do our quarterfinals pre-show for Inside the Leaderboard is that team quarterfinals go off the week before.
I want to see. It'll be interesting to see how many people really come off the leaderboard with that.
So now we'll have, right now we're just like, these are people we know are going team. There are others that are going team we may not officially know yet, and they may be on the fence. But after quarterfinals, we are going to have a very, very good idea of who's in and who's out on the team side. So we may have 15 men or women out of the top 100 when we look at our strength of field. So I'm excited to have this go down, and then we'll look at the pre-show for quarterfinals. So these are our numbers after the Open. We may have new numbers before the quarterfinals even starts. We're almost guaranteed it. We're going to have new numbers than what we finished with, which we'll talk about that. We'll have one show at the halfway point of quarterfinals, and then another show at the end, and we'll unveil our final rankings there. And then we'll do one more before semifinals start when we know who's in and actually who's out of these semifinals. So we have a lot more things coming on our Inside the Leaderboard show as we work towards quarterfinals. So I'm pumped. Gosh.
What's going to be interesting is like the talk has always been, at least going into this year, that the Open is supposed to be the all-inclusive, and then we get down to business in quarterfinals. So I wonder if the programming, it'll be interesting to see if the programming changes how those numbers start to flesh out. We've only had 3 scores. We're going to have 6 scores now. And ideally, they're going to be more difficult, more technical, heavier.
I hope they don't include anybody.
Right. I mean, they shouldn't, because again, like this is the point where we go from thousands of people to 40.
I think we should start an event with one snatch at 275 and then have it be whatever you want to be. But it just starts with 1 rep of that.
The one thing I will look forward to for our pre-show for quarterfinals is we should know the events. Like if we do it that Wednesday, right? If all the events get released once the submissions open, which is what they've traditionally done whenever that happens, they've released all the events. We can go event by event and maybe predict.
Yeah, make predictions. That would be fun. That would be fun.
Who's going to get, based off these 3 together, this looks, based off what we saw in the Open, is like, man, these are burners. After submission window 1, Europe might have 16. Who knows?
Right.
So that'll be really fun. Well, hey, we don't have anything to predict. The Open is over. We did our analyzing of the programming yesterday. Bill and I did, as we looked at the programming itself from the...
I have a bone to pick with that, by the way.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, dang. Pick it.
Listen, when you're doing thumbs, you got 2 thumbs, 1.5 thumb, 1 thumb, 1 thumb down, and then 2 thumbs down. Okay, y'all are this 1.15 thumbs. No, and 1 thumb means you like it. If you don't like it, like I want to see y'all give a thumbs down to somebody.
We have slammed. We've slammed the CrossFit events.
Yes, the Open
quarterfinals. We did this.
Thumbs down.
Okay.
Yeah, the Open did not.
We got to get rid of this 1.15 thumbs. That's ridiculous.
We found it actually much harder to do it less than, so we started putting like tenths in there.
Right.
Just give it.
John, anytime. You're welcome anytime, and you can give your 6-point thumb decisions anytime you want.
Okay.
But that'll do it for Inside the Leaderboard. Thank you guys so much for rolling with us. We hope you enjoyed the system that we've created. We hope you're just as excited as we are week in and week out. And that's something that we may be able to build on in the future, especially after we have a show of how to actually implement this. That is easy way to judge, easy way to manage, and an exciting way to actually have the leaderboard reflect this with one simple click. I'm just giving you guys a teaser. One simple click will fix all of this. It'll make it much easier. So thank you, Eaton. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Look at what you bring to the show, John. Look at that.
Yes,
I
John,
will not
appreciate
see that $5, but thank you.
appreciate everything you got, all the time you've given us throughout the Open, and we look forward to quarterfinals. So that's it for Inside the Leaderboard from the Open. We hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Submissions will be finalized tonight. We'll know who's moving on to quarterfinals. I believe, Bill, you made it. John, and myself for both. So
You gonna try to do the quarterfinals, Chase?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Do what you can.
I'll do what I can. I've trained. I put a barbell in my hand on Monday and yesterday. And that's
exciting.
Yeah, it was good. It didn't look good.
I have a question for you. Who do you think will be better than who? Me and Bill.
Ooh, in quarterfinals?
Yeah.
Did who beat who in the Open?
Oh, Bill by a landslide.
But if it's a 275 snatch,
yeah,
I'm not playing.
Yeah. Post videos, Chase. Yeah, I'll video him.
Dude, you've been working out way more. You would get me on. You're going to get me
I'm
on.
asking Chase. I believe I'll get you too. But I'm asking Chase.
I don't know, man. I can't bet against Bill. This guy does stupid things.
Listen, no. Aerobically, Bill is much fitter.
How out of shape do you guys think I am? I'm almost willing to put myself in the field.
Dude, that's never at Dave's best.
That hurt his feelings so bad.
God bless.
The only thing would be a deadlift. That's it. That's it.
Well, that's
even that, I will horribly injure myself not to lose to Dave to anything. All right, just for that, I'm going to put my name in the hat with these three.
Okay, you want to do a side by side of all of our videos?
Side by side? Yeah.
We can do it.
That's it. I'm pissed off. Now I'm going to rage train for 3 weeks and probably get myself hurt.
All right, bring on the bench press.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to bounce. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for rolling with Inside the Leaderboard with us here at Get With The Programming. You guys have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Those of you guys that made quarterfinals, congratulations. Those of you that didn't, congratulations. You signed up, you figured out where you're at, and maybe next year you'll be a little bit better. All right, take care.
My name is Tyler.
That's the wrong button.
Is that the one you meant to pick?
He's not here right now. You got the wrong name.
It's not awesome. All right. Nice try.